Hello out there, and glad to share your screen with us on today's program, Hot Button. Today we shall be taking a look at the topic, how to balance personal and relationship goals. We will interview individuals and they will share their insights on how to balance personal and relationship goals in a way that is fulfilling and rewarding for both parties. I am Tayo Adeleke, and joining me on the program I have...
My name is Lillian Onofiok.
And
Jacob Wanchiko.
Thank you for coming to the program today. So, to Jacob, how do you pursue your dreams without neglecting your partner?
Okay, when you speak about pursuing your dreams and not neglecting your partner, there are a few things involved, which is you must know that the feelings of your partner is of utmost importance, so you must be able to support your partner, right? You must know that, you know, the emotions of your partner is involved, so don't let the sake of you pursuing your goals affect the relationship that you have with your partner, right? So you must learn to prioritize things, you know, and then be able to balance.
Okay, so let's hear from Lillian.
Well, personally, I feel like everybody picks their poison. So usually in life, you're the one that decides what is important to you.
Okay.
But I feel if you make the decision to step into a relationship with somebody, then you also are making the decision to prioritize that person's needs. So in a way, I agree with Jacob. I feel like when you're chasing your personal career goals, you must always consider the fact that there's another person now in the equation.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a child. So now your decisions are no longer that spur of the moment, just wake up and go. You now have to consider the other person that you're with.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so how can you support your partner's aspirations without compromising your own?
So, identity politics. So,
Yeah.
what identity politics is when you step into a group with people, you as a person, if you're not somebody who is already firm, if you're not somebody who is already assertive on your own, it's very easy for you to get swept up in the flow of another person's actions, especially when that's someone that you're romantically involved with, which means to an extent they have an influence over you. So I think when you talk about making sure that you're not sacrificing your own personal goals, I think it's important that as much as you're with somebody else, you have to remember that if you're not personally fulfilled, if you're not happy, you're never going to be able to fully support and be there for that other person that you're with. So if something is going on in their life and they're progressing, I think finding ways to be with them in their progress helps a lot. So if, for instance, your partner is chasing maybe a master's or a PhD, for instance, and they are schooling and maybe they're away from home, a way that you can be involved in that person's learning without it compromising your personal life is getting involved with what they are doing. So maybe assignments or quizzes, or when they're working on their thesis, or I think it's dissertation for PhD, I'm not sure. But getting involved in that process with them. Okay, so where are you now? I don't know what the chapters are, but like, is it chapter 1, chapter 2? But like, just the steps that they're taking on a daily basis and making sure that you are putting yourself there. And then knowing when to step away is also very important, so that you don't now carry that person's wahala on your head to the detriment of your personal self. So.
Okay, so I believe before getting to the whole, you know, emphasis of what Lillian said, right? On the ground basis, you need to know what the dreams of your partner is, right? Before you now begin to think of how you can be able to balance your dreams and your partner's dreams without compromising your own. Do you understand? So you must be able to find a balance and then find a solution that best works for both of you.
So, to Jacob now, how do you support each other's dreams and aspirations? How do you support?
Okay, like I said earlier, know what your partner wants, or what do you want to do, right? And then what are the things that I can do to help you get to that thing that to help you achieve that thing that you want to do, right? For instance, I want to do event planning, right? And then my partner wants to do, she wants to be a contractor. My event planning career or dream, right, might be very tactical in a way, because her own is not even in line with what I want to do. But then you must understand our own area, right, and understand yours, and then still find a way to, you know, put all of these things in a better place.
Better place. So, do you have any?
Yeah, so let me just piggyback off of what he said. So I think getting involved in each other's world is very important. So for instance, in the events planner and contractor example, the partner who is an events planner, once in a while try and attend the events. Because by the time the person comes home every day and they're complaining about certain things, the extent of advice you'll be able to give will be different if you've actually been in the event setting.
Exactly.
As opposed to just giving generic advice that will work for every other person and not specific to that situation.
To that, inclination,
So, Lillian, how do you prioritize your goal? How do you prioritize your time and energy between your work and your relationship?
Let me use lockdown as the example, because I feel like that was when the whole working from home thing really took off
in Nigeria.
And so I'm going to say, when you have your 9 to 5, or even if you're self-employed and you don't have a particular time, when you leave the office or you leave the workspace and you step back into your relationship, if you guys are living together or you just go back home, you have to know when to cut it. Like, there has to be a time when you say, I'm no longer taking work calls. I'm now going to just, even if it's not even for a relationship, but like, you have to know when to stop and know that this is not time for work, this is time for me and the person that I'm with.
So where some people, you know, gets this whole thing twisted is them not realizing that, you know, bringing in work, giving work excuses, I'm too busy, I'm so sorry. All right, let me cite an instance. A relationship whereby the guy is out of the country and then the lady is here, right? And you hardly see your partner, right? You hardly see your partner, so your partner misses your presence. She craves your presence sometimes. Oh babe, I'm so sorry, I'm at work. You know, most times, right, the couple she tends to get tired of the whole situation. So, but she might be bottling this whole thing up. But then if you're able to explain and then your partner is able to understand your own point of view, I feel like the whole relationship thing can work well.
The whole relationship thing can work well. How do you deal with conflict or disagreement that arise from your different goals and values?
I'm going to say that giving your partner time is important. So generally, the disagreements that could stem from you having a mix of your work and your personal life is that one person feels like they are suffering over the other person. So it now feels like you're sacrificing your relationship for your job. But these two things are equally important, because if you don't have them, like if you have a job but you don't have a good relationship, you have a good relationship but you don't have a job, there's no balance.
There's no balance.
So the disagreements that arise from that, I think communication is very important. I think recognizing when you have done too much is important. As opposed to, but I told you I'm working and you know that I have this deadline and that deadline and we have this new project and I haven't deployed. Like, communication is very, very important. Knowing when to just say, okay, I see what you're saying and I'm really sorry, but like, this is the situation, I'll try and work on it. Because it deflates a lot of things. And it will just be, okay, no problem, let's just be watching and let's see how you do. And more than saying that you're sorry and promising to do better, actually do better. Because it's not every day that I'm sorry is going to cut it. Exactly. You get to a point where it's just like, well, it's not working anymore for both of us. And it's not that you are both toxic, it's just the situation that you're in right now, you are not ready for a relationship and you don't have the capacity to balance.
But what if in the process of the relationship, maybe the person actually lost a job, situations happened, how would one balance that?
So this is where it's important to recognize that relationships are like 50-50. I think that's what they say, but I actually don't think that relationships are ever 50-50. I feel like people are always like, people are not always going to be on that equal energy of giving at every single point in time. So in the scenario that you give, one person has lost their job, which means that another person now has to pick up more of the bulk in the relationship, not just financially, but like emotionally, because you've lost your job. So you're actually quite, your head is not in the right space. And so I think at that point, it's important for you to know the person that you're with. Do you still respect this person? Has anything fundamental changed about them? Are they still the kind, loving person that you got into a relationship with? Is it just this job that they've lost? And if they are still 100% on all those other things that were complete when you guys started out, then I think being supportive, helping them find another job is very important. Okay. And then people have pride. So you also have to know when to stop pushing and just let me calm down small and see if he or she will taking making any active efforts.
So Proverbs 16 verse 3 encourages us as Christians to always be supportive, right? To our loved ones, to our partners, to our acquaintances, friends, and whatever, right? So in the situation of a relationship, right, what you need to do is to understand where your partner is coming from, right? From the instance that you cited just now, or in cases where your partner is being sacked or he or she lost a job and all that, you don't have to neglect, or you don't have to now begin to work sympathetically. Like you're trying to like treat, because you lost your job, let me try to, pity you, let me try to show you more love than, of course you should show more love
at that moment
because, really and truly the person needs it. But then let it be genuine. Let it not be out of pity. You understand? Also, I want to take from what she said, you must be supportive. That's what relationship is about. A relationship without conflict is not genuine to begin with, right? And then a relationship without genuine love and support is also not complete.
So will you agree with what Lillian said, that relationship is 50-50?
Of course, yes. No, she said relationship is not 50-50.
Yes.
She was not arguing. But I want to say that relationship is 50-50 because if I'm not agreeing with what you're saying, right, that's when conflicts can now set in. Right, but if we're able to discover, right, whatever situation is on ground and we're able to understand it from different perspective, then there will not be presence of conflict.
So, how do you maintain your individuality and identity while being part of a team?
So again, identity politics. So I'm going to say taking out time to do things for yourself is very important, because it's very easy for a duo to want to do things together all the time because it's just two people. So it's easy to plan, it's easy to execute. But taking time to do things for yourself, there were things that you used to do as a person before you got into a relationship. So, and it's not every hobby you have that you share with your partner. For instance, like, it's not all the kinds of music that I like that my partner might enjoy. It's not every type of movie that I like. And sometimes maybe he's not even a reader. Maybe he doesn't like to read books, and that's what I live for. So I think taking time out to do the things that you enjoy, just having your personal time with yourself is very important, because it helps you cope better when that person is not able to give you their 100% attention. When deadlines become more choking. When things become more demanding in their personal life, it's easy for you to give them that space for that period of time so that they can perform and execute and deliver on that end, and then come back into the relationship. So I think that's what works for me.
Let me use this Bible quote as to actually ask this question. Amos 3:3 said, can two work together except what? They agree. So for you to actually dive into a relationship, you should have agreed about your goals and your plans.
Let me say something real quick, right? My current relationship, right? Or before I went into that relationship, I thought, things might be very, very difficult at some point, either financially, emotionally, mentally even, because relationship, you have to also think of your mental state, your mental health, right? So things might want to go sideways. Are you willing to understand and then live with the situation and then live also for improvement, right? So we must both come into an agreement, or just in case anything like this happens, we saw it coming, and then we are going to be able to treat it or tackle it the way it has come, and then for the better for both of us.
Should your love actually supersede your goal in a relationship, or should your goal supersede the love in a relationship?
It's love.
So for you,
for me, it's love, because we might have a dream, right? But we might not be sure of how that dream may turn out to be, even though we follow gradual processes. That's life. Life happens the way it could happen. Anything can happen, right? So, but love, when there's a particular standard that you set for love, very, very unshakable. Goals, anything could happen. Oh, I wanted to do this thing today, but then I was not able to achieve it. Let's say for classes as students, right? You have a schedule. I want to see this doctor, this lecturer today. I want to see this person today. And then at the end of the day, you were not even able to achieve half of all the things on your schedule, right? But love, when you're in a relationship and then you're able to express yourself to your partner, right? And then you can even share this experience with your partner. She'll be able to still, suggest possible ways or solutions for you to go about the whole thing. Oh, you can do it like this. You can do it like this in order for you to achieve your goal.
So,
for me, I disagree just a little bit.
okay.
I don't think love should supersede your personal goals. I feel that the balance is very important.
Exactly.
And I feel like compromising. So sometimes the love should win over the personal goal. Sometimes the personal goal should win over the love. That way, you are not sacrificed. Because then you ask a question about how you can still maintain your personal identity even when you're in a team. And I think if you constantly allow one thing to overshadow the other, you're going to lose out. So if you always choose your job and your career and your personal goals over your partner, you're going to lose out on your partner. And if you always choose your partner over your personal goals and your career, you're going to lose out on that end. And
so there must be a balance.
Yes.
So, how do you balance your own happiness and fulfillment with your partner's needs and expectations?
So I think it was Jacob that mentioned when you're going into a relationship, you have to agree. So I think being very honest with each other when you people are still in the talking and the early dating stage, don't pretend. If you are not the kind of person that likes to sacrifice all the time, don't act like you're the kind of person that likes to sacrifice, because they'll be getting into a relationship with that person that sacrifices all the time, and that's not you. So it's very important that when you're entering, you are as genuine as possible. They usually say, I think it's in business, they usually say under promise and over deliver. So it's very important that you are showing in fact, if it's possible for you to even be more wicked in that dating stage. So that by the time you people
so by the time you begin to show your wicked acts, your partner will not be surprised.
The person already knows that this is how you
are.
If it's not something that they can deal with, they will go and find somebody that is more compatible for them. But not that when you people are dating and people are talking, that's where every day of your life you are checking on them 5 times a day. Then you enter the relationship, bam, once you will even check. So I feel that be as genuine as possible and just avoid issues.
So, Jacob, any other contrary opinion? Or
no, obviously there's no contrary opinion. There's no contrary opinion. But then, I want to, agree with Lillian, right? So it boils down to you understanding your partner very, very well, right? Okay. Understand who your partner is before committing yourself into that relationship. That's why it's very, very important to, get to know what your partner or who your partner is. What he or she likes, right? Does this person like 100% attention? Or if I channel my attention to my work, can this person be able to cope? Or, that's where striking your balance still falls in. Do you understand? So,
So, how do you communicate your needs and expectations in a healthy and respectful way?
Why do you have to emphasize healthy?
It's very important to emphasize that healthy and relationship ways.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go first?
No.
Okay, so conversations around expectations in a relationship, people usually avoid it because it puts you in that position where you now have to take, because now you're having to demand the things that you want in a way. But I completely agree that it's important, and I think a way that you can do it that is healthy and respectful is consistently emphasizing that this is so that I will be able to be with you for the long run. So I'm explaining everything that I can take and everything that I can't take now, so that you understand the kind of person I am. This is my perspective, this is where I'm coming from. Being as genuine as possible, because you can be communicating with somebody who they're not used to having to say everything like that, especially women with social conditioning and everything. Like, we're not really used to having to say everything that we expect as a way. We expect that you will just know. But I'm a woman, so I know that, and I worked with women, so I know.
I knew she was going to play that card. I knew she was going
So
to
I
play
know
that
that
card.
it can be insane that you expect another person to know something that you haven't said. So I definitely feel being genuine every step of the way. Telling that person emphatically, like, I'm saying this because this is the kind of person I am. Let that person see you.
Yeah.
Don't hide the reason why you're saying what you say. If you like somebody to call you 5 times a day to check on you, say it that I like somebody to call me 5 times a day to check on me, and this is why. So even you as a person, you need to understand why you have that particular need. Why is that thing important to you? So that when you're communicating, you're not only communicating the what, but the why of it as well. So that the person understands. So even if they're not able to deliver it exactly how you expect them to, they're human beings, so they're rational, they can think, and they can find another way to fulfill that need that you have. But if you yourself, you don't know why it's important to you, you just say, this is what I want, I want to call me 5 times a day. It's like, it's unreasonable because I don't have all that time today.
So how do you communicate your needs and expectations in a healthy and respectful way?
Back to healthiness again.
Okay.
All right. So I strongly believe that, a partner must always be truthful with their actions, right? And then when you're going into a relationship, there are intriguing cases, right? There are several situations that you'll be faced with.
Okay.
But then finding a possible way of, differentiating what your partner's needs and wants are is very, very, what's the word? Is very, very important. Let me use that word. It's very, very important. So communicating what you want, what you would like your partner to do to you, right, is also key. That's why they say communication is key. If you don't tell me that, oh, I want to call you, or this is the kind of person I am, right, in order for me to be mentally stable in this relationship, I like to always hear from you. I like to always reach out to you. I will not, if you don't tell me these things, I will not know. I'll find it very, very disturbing.
Okay.
Right, but when you tell me, oh, this kind of person that I am, I love texting, I love calling, I just want to check up on you, I just want to know how you're doing, right? I'll be able to, okay, so when it begins to happen, right, I won't be surprised or I won't get pissed off in any way whatsoever.
But to some, don't you think calling me 5 times in a day, even before you explain it, for me, I may say, okay, I like calling you 5 times in a day, and to some, it may be like you're monitoring me.
Yes, but like that's why the communication at that point and the why of it is important. Because that's why I said it can seem unreasonable to somebody. I don't have time to call. I don't remember to call my own mother 5 times a day. Like, I don't know how you now expect me to. So the why of it. If you say I like you to call me 5 times in a day, so that I'll be sure that you're all right and that everything is going on well with you, even when we're not together. And the other person says, I actually don't have time to call you 5 times a day. What I can do is that I can drop a text, maybe one at 12, one at 3 p.m. And like that's it. And if you respond to that text, then I know that you're fine. So that compromise is also important after communicating what you need, because it's a relationship, so it's give and take. It's not every time this is what I'm doing. So the other person will say, I don't have time to call you 5 times in a day, but I can text you twice on my breaks. And when you respond to the text, I'll know that everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
We're good like that. And then you who is making the demand also now have to be reasonable. Because you may have that time, but the other person does not. You can't now be placing such a demand on the time that they don't even have, because it will now become draining. It will now become, am I working for you or are we in a relationship with?
Yeah, true.
So how can you actually put your partner in the picture of your goal?
Putting your partner in the picture. Your partner must understand your goal.
Must.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm still holding that word, must.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because if she doesn't understand, like, okay, I'm speaking as a guy, right? If my partner doesn't understand my goal, what I want to achieve, right, I don't think the relationship makes sense. Especially when I'm working and I know that whatever pay I'm getting is still for you and I, right, to enjoy. So my partner must understand my goal, right, and then must always find time. Oh, will he be in a meeting right now? Will this be a good time for me to call him? Will this be a good time for me to text him? Will he respond immediately? That's why when I'm going into meetings, right, I'm in a relationship currently. So when I'm going, when I
The better man of us.
so when I'm going into something I know that will keep me busy and then I don't need distraction, before I go into that space, I'll be in so meeting, like the event I anchored yesterday, right? The BC Tech Explore, right? Before I went into this into the auditorium, oh, I'll be in this Kiniko, right? And I don't want you to call, I don't want you to text, right? Because I'm not going to even be on my phone. Do you understand? So in order for you not to leave me with series of missed calls or text and then I don't respond, you don't get offended, I'm just telling you now to prepare you ahead of time. Do you understand? Communication is key, very vital.
So,
he said, Madam, don't disturb me. So,
indirectly.
For me, I feel like respecting your partner's intellect is important, because your question was about putting them in the picture.
Yeah, putting them in the picture.
If you don't think somebody is smart, if you don't think they are creative, they are innovative, you won't share your ideas with them, because in your head they don't even have anything to contribute in the first place. So putting your partner in the picture begins from you recognizing that this person is an individual, this person is as smart as I am, this person is as creative as I am, this person is as innovative as I am. I can share my day with them. I can share my goals with them. And aside that, in your decision making, I think it was like at the very first question. So we talked about it just being, now you can't just get up and go. So if somebody should call you, you've been chasing one investor for years. If your partner is not aware of how much you've been chasing this investor, the day you get, if the person calls you one day and says, we need you to come to Dubai, and that day you pack your load, and the only time you call her is when you've already touched down at UAE. She will not like, what are you talking about? This person just called you and you moved. But if this is someone you have been putting in, she understands that you've been pursuing this man for years. If you call her and say, babe, I'm at UAE right now. This man called me and said I should come to Dubai. She'll be like, don't worry, go for the meeting. When you finish, you call me.
I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you, exactly.
She has been there every step of the way. But if you isolate your partner, it will now seem like the decisions that you are taking are sporadic. And it's like, did you not even think, who is going to pick this person up from school? So carry them along.
Actually, carrying along your partner.
So carrying along your partner in your goal and in your dream. So like Amos 3:3 said, can two work together except they agree? It's very, very important to hold each other's hand in relationship. And, you know, the Bible said, one will chase 1,000, and two will actually chase 10,000. And that's when we put our hands together so as to achieve our dreams and goals in life. We hope you've gained insights into the dynamics of success relationship and the strategies that can help you and your partner achieve harmony and satisfaction in your relationship and can help build a better society. Thank you, Lillian, and thank you, Jacob, for coming to the program today. And thanks to our viewer out there for joining us on today's edition of Hot Button. I am Adeleke. Keep watching Hope Channel. Bye-bye.